to Cadmium Dread.
With your hosts, Mimi Nguyen and Joshua Karenka, and our two special guests today.
Oh, yeah. Kelly Perry.
Wow, you want to try that one more time?
I almost whiffed it. Kelly Perry. And my dog, Bowie.
Hi,
who
Bowie.
is not on mic. He's actually taking a nap.
Do you think, can he speak? Would he?
No, he doesn't make much noise unless he's really excited.
Okay.
You gotta link to his Instagram page on your.
Oh, he
your
should have an
podcast
Instagram page. I don't know why we don't.
Follow Bowie.
It's because every time we take pictures of him, it's just like a black shape. I have maybe 3 decent pictures I've ever taken of him.
Oh.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll link pictures. And
anyways,
welcome,
yes,
Kelly.
Our actual guest, Kelly.
I'm really happy to share the billboard with the dog.
Oh,
It's fine. It's fine.
You should be honored.
Yeah, it's
Look
fine.
at him.
I love dogs.
Yeah,
He's a good doggo.
he's a good dog.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly is a good artist.
Aw.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, bye.
No. You're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
You actually have to talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not just a special appearance and then you're out.
It was like a drive-by hello and goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do art.
Yeah. And we did art together at MZ, and that's how we know each other. And now you're here. I've roped you in.
Yes, that's true. You should at some point make it a goal to not mention MZ
Why?
in one of your podcasts.
Oh. I mean,
to prove that you've healed.
Yes,
Oh.
it's time to. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Well, no, we could revel in it a
Yeah.
little bit.
yeah. Or
If
we
you
could
want.
make it MZ's a bad word, and Mimi has to bleep it in the edit.
No, that's actually not a bad idea.
It'd be really funny, actually. People, what the fuck is he talking about?
Just replace it
They
with
don't. They don't bleep out any of the curse words. What the hell is so bad that they have to bleep out?
worse than a curse word.
Yeah,
He who shall not be named.
we have a couple of those.
All right, where do we want to start?
That's a good question. You want to start at the beginning or?
Oh, okay. It was 1979. Oh God, I just aged myself. Cut that out, Mimi.
You did that yourself. We never asked you.
No, yeah. So
How'd you get into being an artist?
Okay. Well, I would probably say that it started in college, but my dad would say that it started when I was 5 or 6.
I feel like parents say that all the time.
My dad, he knew. He just knew. Because I had entered a coloring contest at the local grocery store bakery. It was Christmas time. And I thought about this because I'm like, they're probably going to ask me this, so I'm going to think about this. But yeah, I colored in Santa Claus and stayed in all the lines. I didn't stray outside the lines once. And my dad was like, and I won. I won a Santa Claus cake. And my dad was like, she's going to be an artist. Like, she's going to be a famous artist. Not so much famous, but yeah. And then
You're famous now.
I'm on Cadmium Dread,
Yeah.
so it's pretty good.
So did your parents really nurture that part of you?
Yeah, they did. It was always kind of like a hobby for me. I think I never really thought about making it a career until I think I was a senior in high school, and I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Me too.
Did you?
At one point in high school, I
Yeah.
was like, marine biology is cool.
Listen, I love dolphins and whales, and I wanted to learn. I just wanted to do that. And my dad.
Just like Jotaro.
Oh no.
This is where you start talking about JoJo.
Oh no. The sigh.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. Keep going.
No, so I was looking at schools in Florida, and I'm not sure if it's because my dad didn't want me to go all the way to Florida or what, but I remember at one point he goes, well, you could do art for a living. And I was like, well, I could?
That's a first. I feel like parents aren't usually the
Yeah.
ones who
Yeah.
posit that as
Yeah,
what you should do instead.
my parents were definitely super supportive. And I was like, yeah, go do art instead.
Did they, were you aware of the concept art world at that point?
No,
Mm.
there was no. I shouldn't say there was no concept artwork because I'm sure there was, but I went to school for illustration.
Mhm.
I wanted to illustrate books, and now there are no books, which makes me kind of sad. I mean, there's books,
Digital.
Yeah.
I still buy books.
but I buy books.
I'm
I
running
know.
out of space.
Yeah.
So did you learn printmaking and all that stuff?
No, because so I went to the Academy of Art, and printmaking was kind of a fine art elective. So I took more classes that had to do with different kinds of media and heads and hands and anatomy and storytelling and all that good stuff. So there was animation and illustration, but it wasn't until I think a few years or maybe a year after I graduated that they actually created a concept art department.
Mm.
Yeah. So I didn't really ever I didn't really ever want to make art for video games,
Mhm.
I guess, and yet here I am.
Yeah.
This is where I be, so.
So how did you end up in video games?
Oh, well, okay. So I shouldn't say I took a hiatus because it wasn't intentional, but after graduating, I had no idea how to make a living at art. Like let me tell you, my last year in school, all the students have to take a portfolio class where you make a portfolio, right? And they teach you how to get a job.
Mhm.
My portfolio class was taught by a photographer. Instantly, that should be, red flag.
Yeah, I made a frowny face.
Yeah, doesn't really mesh there. But his plan for the whole semester was for us to actually go have physical prints made, put them in some sort of creative box or container or whatever, if you will, and then walk them from publisher to publisher. Yeah, again, the face.
Yeah.
It was
Super
so
weird.
so weird, and it was completely unhelpful. And he didn't actually give us any tips, like where do you find contacts, and how do you send information out, and how do you do all that stuff. So when I graduated, I had good grades, but I had no idea what I was doing. And so I went home to Sacramento, or just outside Sacramento, and I did the fine art scene there, which is fine art scene in Sacramento. It's really exciting, but it was whatever. I got a job working retail, and then just painted every extra minute I had, and did that. And then I think it was fast forward, long story longer. It wasn't until 8 years later, I think, that I got my first job in video games. And I finally got sick of not doing art for a living. And I just kind of buckled down, and there was CG Hub. Remember CG Hub?
Yeah.
So I used to find contacts through there and job listings through there. So I just started kind of spamming people.
How did you? Well, I'm assuming that there was a transition between traditional to digital.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I learned completely analog, as you'd say, all traditional media.
I remember that amazing Lord of the Rings painting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't start painting digital until I found out about Painter, and that was awesome for me. I was aware of Photoshop. I'd taken some Photoshop classes, but I just didn't know that you could paint the way people paint in Photoshop. We didn't have those classes in school, I guess. And so I started on Painter, and it blew my little mind, because I was like, oh my god, I could zoom in on the canvas and I could do details, and it was great, and I loved it. And then I moved to Photoshop. I think I started really painting exclusively in Photoshop in 2011 or something like that. Yeah, I was really late to the game in every sense.
I mean, to be fair, they never taught me any of that stuff at school either. So
Yeah.
I think at that point, I still didn't know how to paint much in Photoshop either.
Wow,
the same year.
How could I have
Yeah.
spent 4 or 5 years here and not know how to do anything when
Yeah.
I get out? It's kind of crazy.
I've already talked enough shit about Santa Cruz, but
Well, I don't even know. It was just a really weird time where not everything had moved over to digital and the internet.
Yeah.
And I
that's
don't
true.
know,
It
it
was
was
still
very strange.
It was still the shift. I feel like maybe at some point it was half and half.
Yeah.
And then digital started taking over.
It's all those poor animation students who start by traditional animation,
yeah.
and then they graduate and they're like, oh shit, everything is now 3D.
We were watching a playthrough of Dragon's Lair. No, not Dragon's Quest 2.
Mhm.
And then the animation is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And one of my friends was like, why don't they make movies like this anymore? I'm like, well, let me tell you about what happened to the animation industry.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's still some... What was the last 2D animation movie that was 2D animation?
Princess and the Frog.
Is that really the last one? The last Disney
I mean,
one,
the
at
last
least?
big
Mainstream
one. Yeah,
Disney one.
mainstream.
There was some really cool stuff in Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
Those are all shorts,
Oh.
though, so...
But still good.
But still great. Go watch that if you haven't.
Have you seen, and did you see Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse
I
yet?
finally did.
Yeah!
I finally had a free day
Finally!
where I
Yay!
didn't even put pants on, and I did all the stuff that I've been putting off, like watching Spider-Verse.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was
It's great.
great. I can't believe it took me that long.
I was blown away by that movie. Surprisingly so, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty jaded at this point.
And then I immediately started looking up, how the animators did it,
Oh my
and
God.
all that stuff, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
like the
incredible.
process videos that are out for that.
Yeah.
So good.
I feel like I need a lesson to understand what they're even talking about. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
what?
for sure.
But it's gorgeous, kind of amazing. But yeah, so I was a little bit behind them. I was just behind. I didn't really know how to become a professional artist.
This is kind of a personal question, but did that ever like really get you down and like get in your way? Just that feeling of like, I'm so behind. How can I catch up?
You know, not until I actually started getting work. Like, it's the only tough part about it is being like about 10 years older than everybody you work with. And which is not the case anymore necessarily. The people I work with are kind of about my age, but like at MZ, I was like 10 years older than pretty much everyone else I worked with.
We didn't believe you when you told us.
That's right. A good answer. That's the answer.
I wouldn't believe you.
Ah,
Yeah.
see, you guys are the best hosts. But I would start to think, or I would see people on ArtStation, and I'm like, oh my God, these kids are like in school still, and I feel like I'm never going to like attain that sort of success or whatever. But mostly it doesn't really bother me anymore because everyone is on their own path, and my aspiration is not necessarily to be like a super internet famous artist. I guess it doesn't bother me as much.
Mm-hmm.
No,
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I-
okay, Mimi, don't worry.
I haven't
Well,
got
I'm
there
just
yet. It
asking
still
for a
bothers me.
friend.
Well, yeah, I mean, literally, I think I saw a quote once where someone was talking about like everyone is on their own path at their own pace, and you can't compare yourself to other people. It'll just drive you crazy, and you'll get there in your own time. Like I always say to myself, like in my head, like the only way it won't happen would be if you quit. So just keep with whatever it is that you want to do. Just keep going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You heard it here, dear
Oh.
listener.
just don't give up. This is too positive.
Yeah, this is too positive.
This is gross.
Yeah, I'm starting to get like cavities here. Anyway, yeah, too positive. Let's start talking some shit.
Yeah. Who brought the dirt?
Yeah. No, I got dirt, but
Yeah, I told myself I'd be positive on this thing. We did that. Check.
yeah,
Off
check,
the check.
out of the way.
Moving
now
on.
we-
Everyone love yourself. It's okay.
Yeah, and now, anyways,
Anywho.
let's start hating ourselves.
I'm too good at that.
Yeah, I feel like people at Glue are still learning my self-depreciating.
Oh my god, the self-loathing is real.
Kyle keeps like doing like the thing where he'll like shit on me, expecting me to like have a comeback, and I
Yeah.
just agree with him. But I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm used to this. Fortune used to do the same thing.
Yeah, you probably miss it a little bit. Like there's
Kind of.
a little bit too much positivity in your life.
Exactly. I just need somebody to tear me down. If that's not me.
That's okay. We can help you.
Yeah. And that's why we brought you back.
Shut up, Josh.
Aw. I do miss like the team we had.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
Was that the original Flavor Town?
Yeah.
Mimi
I'm
still.
needing an original flavor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Town
Because I brought Flavor Town
member.
to Glue.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a whole wall dedicated to Guy.
That's so good. I like watched his stupid diners, drive-ins, and I can't even
Diners,
say
drive-ins,
Thank you,
and
and
dives.
dives.
I have to say it slowly.
on
too.
a Friday night. If I'm not doing anything and I'm just like lounging on the couch, I will
Oh,
inevitably stop.
Kelly, you're
on
a
that
real
channel.
Flavor Towner.
And I will watch them
I'm
make
so
all.
proud.
I know it's.
I love all of Guy Fieri's
Right?
shows. I love them.
It's there's nothing good about them,
So
but you still love them.
So here's a teaser. We did record a drunk cast.
We did.
It might be a lost episode.
It's like you have to subscribe and like donate to Patreon
Kind of.
to
That's
hear
what
it.
we
I
keep
kept on
saying.
saying that, but
Maybe in the future
I
we'll
did-
let you guys in on
I
it.
did pass out on that couch while we were watching
no.
Guy's grocery challenge. Or
Guys Grocery Games double
Gro-
or triple G.
Okay.
Guys Grocery Games.
Foolish of me. Of course, it's a triple G. Yeah, but just gently falling asleep to the soothing sounds of Guy breaking all of his own rules in some sort of grocery challenge.
And you know that Smash Mouth is like the theme song of
Flavor Town.
Flavor Town.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
like I was shocked.
I might
At
not have
how-
brought over 100%.
Well, you're
of
still
Flavor
working,
Town.
I'm sure. Like,
Yeah, they'll learn about Smash Mouth and Shrek soon enough.
the amount of time that Smash I can't even talk. Smash
And we're
Mouth.
sober.
I know, right? Is it All Star?
Also,
Yeah.
The amount of time that song has come to
Graced.
play in my life
Yeah.
as an adult is shocking. I never like saw that coming.
This is just an honorary shout out to Katie Crom
Yeah.
for helping all that.
Katie Crom, Katie Fortune,
Yeah.
Katie's. Oh my god. Hey,
But
now
yeah.
you're an all-star.
Flavor Town was the code name for us taking a break.
Yeah,
Like we would
because if
we
you
would
said,
go to Flavortown. Yeah, because
if you said you were going to take a break,
the
snipers
whip
would come
crap.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
No, yeah, they definitely they did not like us taking
No.
breaks
Why are you not at your desk?
or talking to each other.
Oh, or
Really?
talking to
Yeah.
other teams.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Was
how-
it like would you say it was like micromanaging or?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sure would.
Remember with that small period in time where they started telling us that we can't watch videos?
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
can't have any video of anything
Whoa.
open.
You know what I
unless-
did?
Yeah.
I just made the video smaller.
I remember. I saw like tiny Netflix script.
I cannot
You-
work
yeah, you need that white
without
noise.
something going.
Yeah.
Like when the internet goes down at work, it becomes impossible to work.
Yeah.
Not because I need the internet, but because I can't do it without listening to something. It's weird.
I'll have moments where I've like taken off my headphones and stopped everything because like we're talking or whatever, and then everything will calm down and I still don't have anything going in my ears or whatever, and I'm just like there in silence. I'm like,
This feels so wrong.
oh my god, I get like I freak myself out. I'm just like thinking about what I'm doing way too much.
Yeah. It's very wrong. Yeah, they were very strict. Very strict.
Yeah.
I've never worked in a place so strict.
Yeah.
So paranoid.
Yeah.
Like major paranoia.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not as bad anymore.
Hey, I'm sure it
Yeah.
can't possibly be any worse than it was. I mean, things have happened. Changes were made.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's different,
I
better.
wonder if there's worse. You think there was anywhere we could have been that like would have made the MZ experience
Like as a culture.
like, yeah, exactly.
I mean, not in America.
Well,
Good point.
I mean, like that what is it? Like, sorry, I'm vague about this, but the place where I like contracted for like a little bit, it was for like a big tech company, and it was like that as well, like super micromanaged. But it felt like we were lesser because we were like contractors. We weren't like actually employees of that big tech company.
We were employees, but we felt lesser because we were artists.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that could be worse because we weren't really doing art. So that
okay.
environment plus no art.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I feel like not doing art would be worse.
Yeah.
I think.
I can't imagine having a real desk job.
Yeah, I've done that. I've had the real jobs. It's
Yeah.
not very fun.
I mean, I've done it too. Yeah, I've taken my lumps. Don't want to ever go back.
What was your real job? Where
My
did you
real
work?
job?
Yeah.
Do you want my?
Why do I say real job? What was your non-art job?
No, you can say it. I mean, the first job I ever got was like at Round Table.
Oh,
And-
my sister worked at Round Table too.
Yeah, and then after that, I did like a temp thing at I don't remember what it was even. It was just like data entry.
Yeah.
Like one of the most boring things
Yeah.
ever. Like I
that
wanted to die.
It's I guess maybe I blocked this out. My first job was like data entry too. It
Really?
was for
Yeah.
Great America.
Oh.
I would walk around in like my khaki slacks and like my blue button-up shirt, and
What
I'd be
is-
like,
What is Great America? Oh, the
theme
theme
park.
park. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sorry. Oh my
I'd
god.
walk around and I'd have to like give people paper surveys of just like,
Wow.
how did you enjoy like this or that? And then I would have to.
Oh, I
That's
bet that
even
was
worse because
super
you have
fun.
to like
It-
interact with people.
I know, and like being, like, I had so much social anxiety, and like I don't know how or why I did that. And, like,
You need a job.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I bet people just unloaded on you too, just like if they had a bad experience.
they actually no
Oh,
one was
that's
no one
good.
was too mean. They were either just like didn't look at me in the eye and just be like no thank you.
I don't want to buy anything.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
no, I'm not trying to sell you. My first job was Blockbuster. Yeah.
To
That's
the
right.
younger listeners,
Yes.
Blockbuster
To the
was
millennials
a
in the
retail
crowd.
chain where you could rent what is called a VHS.
VHS was just an early form of video.
Yeah.
Go watch Miss Marvel. What's
I
that
still
movie?
haven't seen it.
What is that movie called?
The
Captain Marvel.
Captain.
Thank
I was
you.
about to make a joke. the
Damn.
Marvelous Miss Marvel.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Go
Yeah.
watch that movie.
Yeah.
Tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, no, I worked at Blockbuster, and this is like when I was in college, and then I worked at Ross. Ross, I am certain, is one of the circles of hell. And I had to work the returns counter, which in
Oh.
itself is a special circle of hell. And it was awful. I remember I once had to take a return from someone that I'm pretty sure was homeless because he said to me that he walked from Oregon to California and his shoes fell apart, and he was unhappy about it. And I had to take them back and get him another pair of shoes.
For real?
Yeah, I will never in my life like be able to forget the smell that comes out of a Ross return bag. It's like cigarette and BO and sadness.
So we all like being artists.
I know. So there are way worse gigs out there than
Yeah, for sure.
anything.
Yeah, if you
In the
want to
creative
talk
world.
about social anxiety,
Oh,
I
man.
did door-to-door vacuum sales for a little
That's
bit.
like one of my favorite stories about you.
Yeah, that was like helping out my dad.
Oh, okay.
It's
good.
his-
I was
his
like,
business.
how old were you? Like,
This was like I did during the summer and like.
I don't know.
Between years in
I'm
college, I don't
imagining
remember
you
which.
as like a little like page boy with like a newspaper like
What?
hat.
Yes,
Why?
I like that. And Josh, how many vacuums did you sell? How many?
One.
What? You sold one vacuum?
Um,
What was the did you make a commission off that?
yeah.
Did you? Thank God. That's good. That's incredible. Did you have to give it to your dad?
No, my dad gave me like a much bigger commission just because he's like, well,
Well, you only
it's,
sold
it's
the
in,
one.
It's in the family, so like, if I had been good at it, I would have made a lot of money. The problem is, I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I hate trying to sell people on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably why it took me so long to be an artist. You gotta sell
Gotta
yourself.
sell yourself. I mean, that's something my dad said a lot when
Yeah.
it came to like interview advice. So you gotta sell yourself.
Oh,
It's,
man.
uh,
I
so,
walk into
So this will train you or
Oh,
whatever.
God.
Like, it's like I mean, yes.
cold calls.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm just a bad salesman.
Yeah, just bad at
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I have to fight when I go into an interview. I have to fight the impulse to say, "Look, I'm not very good. I'm just gonna save you some time and be like, I'm not gonna work out."
I feel like that's a what would happen if you went in an interview for like an art job and be like, listen, I know I'm not that good,
Listen,
but
but I really want to work
Yeah.
here.
but I tell good jokes.
Yes. But I'm a great culture fit.
Yeah, exactly.
People love me.
I feel like in maybe like a small way, a very subtle way, that is what I do in an interview. I try to sell
People, you
myself as
have
the
to.
culture pick.
I'm telling you, you have to because they don't just care about your artwork.
Yeah.
A lot of people can do good artwork, but
Yeah.
if you can't communicate or be entertaining, be someone that you people want to talk to and work with.
Entertaining's good.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I'm the performing monkey,
You are the performing monkey.
especially in our group.
I miss working with you. Wait, we should do in honor of working together.
Yeah.
We should do $1 million but question. Do you have a good one?
I have to think of something that's not like already within. It doesn't already exist in another form of media.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's think.
Did you do the dog barking one? Because that's one of my favorites.
That one's from Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
So I'm treading on other podcasts
Ah,
like
okay.
toes at that point.
Should
But
we
yeah,
tell people what
Josh,
it is? 'Cause-
Yeah, explain.
Oh
it.
well,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
If you're not a Rooster Teeth fan, if you're wondering what $1 million but is, it's basically like a little game of just like you get $1 million, but this thing happens, so you have to like take it or leave it. So like some of my favorites was like get $1 million, but every time you sneeze, you teleport to a random location. This is something that Gavin Free came up with, kind of, and it became like a card game that I kickstarted.
Yeah.
I remember I have it. I have
It's
the game.
fun.
Ooh.
You learn about people.
You do. You learn a lot about people, but we've come up with some pretty good ones on our own. Oh yeah, the hair one.
Which you get
You get $1 million, but for the rest of your life, every meal you eat, there's a hair in
yeah.
there somewhere.
God.
Yeah, it's
At
crazy.
least
It's,
one, right? It
at
could be
least
more.
one. It could be more, and it doesn't. And it's not from you. It could be from anyone, and it could be a hair from any part of their body as well.
Ugh.
For every meal for the rest of my life.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
And like, it's funny how many people immediately say no, and how many people immediately say yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's pretty tame, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so gross.
Some people had a lot problem with it. I think Kelly has a big
Because,
problem
like,
with it.
hairs
Yeah.
are gross and they could be dirty, but it's just one.
And it's $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Like,
The other problem is we live in the Bay Area, and $1 million
Yeah.
doesn't go as far
Oh,
as
I
it
would
does in other places.
definitely leave the Bay Area for $1 million. Like, $1 million, but you have to leave the Bay Area.
Oh, done.
I know. Win and win.
Move to Florida and buy a mansion. Dude.
Florida. Don't go to Florida.
Somebody was talking about how cheap Florida was yesterday.
Yeah, there's a reason. It's
oh,
like
it was my brother.
it's like the Australia of the United States.
Well, I mean,
It's like
he was
everything there
talking
will
about
kill you.
Miami. Like, not like northern Florida. Sorry to Florida listeners.
Do we have any Florida listeners?
I don't know. Not anymore.
Not yet.
If they're listening for the first time now, that's
Disney
it.
World is there, and that is really cool.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But
Yeah, I would take that $1 million, I think, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah.
I would.
all right.
I would.
Do you remember the follow-up?
No, what was the follow-up?
You get another $1 million, but it's calculated how much hair you would eat, and you have to eat it all in one go, and you get $2 million.
Oh my god.
You can prepare the hair in any way you want.
Ew.
Can I eat food with the hair? Like, can
Yes,
I
we
blend
said
it up
we
with
can
food?
we can mix the
like
hair
a
into
hair shake or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you brought the hair shake up the last time I asked this too.
Everything goes down better with
You
ice
just
cream.
powder
Yeah, that's what I immediately thought of, like some kind of shake or something you can.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
Wait.
Oh, the silence.
That was the longest silence we've ever had.
Because we're literally
Wait,
picturing
what
it.
were the specifications again? The calculation of how much hair.
We would just magically calculate how much of that hair you would intake within your lifetime.
All right, I got it better.
Okay.
Okay, Mimi, we shaved Josh's head right now,
Mhm.
and you have to eat all of it, but you get $1 million if you eat it. Oh my god.
Ugh.
With-
Oh.
I don't know if I could do it. It's my own hair.
I'm sorry, I feel like
What
we took this in a
happens
really
if I
gross place.
try, but then I start vomiting?
No, then you don't get the
No,
money.
you don't get the million.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta-
You gotta keep it down.
I don't think I could. I think I might try, but I don't think
Yeah.
I could. I think
Yeah,
I would.
but ooh, if we put it in a Vitamix blender and whatever your favorite flavor of
Ooh,
ice cream
can I
is.
get it like in a capsule? No, is that cheating?
Oh, can we capsule it?
Yeah.
We swallow
I
it
feel
like
like
horse
that's
pills?
no, that's cheating.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We've gone too far.
I'd like
Also,
to-
you can't put it in ice cream unless it's vegan. For Mimi.
There's no such thing.
There's
on.
no such thing.
That's what people like. Yeah, like we had ice cream at work, and then like one of our coworkers couldn't wait to tell me this joke. She was like, "Hey, Mimi, how was your ice?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Cause it's not ice cream, because it's vegan, so it's just ice."
Man, people love to hate on a
They
vegan.
do.
Yeah.
But I can't help it. I just cannot. My old body cannot process
not have
an
dairy
old body.
anymore.
You also don't have to explain yourself. It's fine. I am gonna judge you though. Like my stupid favorite bumper sticker is like, how can you tell if somebody is a vegan and does CrossFit or CrossFit? It's like,
Yeah.
don't worry, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Speaking
Okay.
of CrossFit, we need Edgar on this show too.
Oh man, his pecs. Like, how are you gonna fit him through the door?
Yeah, I don't know. He started streaming recently.
Oh.
Like he's streaming his art.
That's right.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I popped
tuned
in one
yet,
time
though.
and like kind of like caught up a bit.
Yeah.
As much as you can when you're in Twitch chat.
He's such a good artist.
I'm trying to remember his Twitch channel so I can like shout it out for anybody to watch. It's like
Well, you could put it in the. I'm sure there's some place. Where
yeah,
you link,
I'll look it up and
technology.
check him out. He's a really good artist.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you guys both done like streaming?
I've
Paint
tried
streaming?
it once or twice.
yeah. I did it for like a minute, like a long time ago. I felt a lot of pressure.
Me too.
Right? Because
I also feel like I can't go into it without already having like a sketch. I feel like if people watch me sketch, I would be so self-conscious.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be like somebody watching you work in your sketchbook or looking at your sketchbook,
Yeah.
which is really like a personal thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I could start painting without a sketch, but I need to know what am I going to paint? Where's my
That's
reference?
True. There has to be like a plan.
I have to have
in
it planned.
place,
I couldn't
because I
just-
can't just noodle without direction
Yeah.
in front of people.
You know, though, I think that Procreate really is like a nice alternative to live streaming in that, like,
It just
you
records it.
it
Yeah.
records it,
Yeah.
and then you already know it works out because you've seen the end.
Yeah.
So no matter how shitty it is in the beginning,
I love it because it makes me look like I know what I'm doing.
Genius,
'Cause-
right? And
right, because it cuts out all the gaps
Yeah.
where you're like,
it makes you look like you know
what
exactly
color do I need?
every stroke and every
Yeah.
it's perfect.
It makes everyone look like a fucking pro.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Procreate.
Creates pros.
Yeah, it does. No, I love Procreate. I need to get a new iPad.
I need to start using mine. It sits around and I
Me
never
too.
use
I
it.
need to like.
We say this every
I
time.
know.
think the
I
both
need
of
to
us.
like. Because I know it's like comparable to Photoshop, but I don't use it in that way. I just can't like get into the same flow as how
Sure.
I use Photoshop, and
Yeah.
so like.
And the brushes aren't the same.
yeah.
And the
I really wish it was easier to get a brush that you like from
Yeah.
Photoshop to work in Procreate, but
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me. You know that one that like I I got from Andre.
The Andre brush.
The Andre brush. I actually have it.
I feel
It's
like-
called the Andre brush on my tool set.
I feel like I'm missing it. I need to find it.
I can send you it if
Yeah,
you
you
need
should
it.
send
What's
it
so
to me.
good about this brush?
I just like it. It's got like a hard edge and a soft, and it
To
turns
know
soft.
what we love about it is to tell you the story of Andre.
The
We should
story
tell
of
stories about Andre.
No, wait, but
It's a lot of
sorry,
good
we
ones.
should finish your. I feel like
Oh no! I
keep-
tried to get it to work in Procreate, and I couldn't for the life of me. Like
Yeah.
I got the stamp to work,
Yeah.
but then to make it behave the right way, like you think it'd be easy, right? But it's not. It just didn't work out.
I like to start stuff in Procreate, like I'll sketch sitting on the couch or whatever, and then when I get it to a place that I'm happy with, and if I want to go farther, then I'll take it into Photoshop.
That's what I've been doing
So,
too. But
I
like
like
I
that.
see people paint on Procreate.
Yeah, they
and
do
like,
the entire thing.
Yeah, I want to do that. I just
Dylan's
can't figure
great
it out.
at it now.
Yeah, he is.
I think you just have to find a couple brushes, like 1 or 2 brushes that you like.
Mhm.
That are just already there.
Yeah. Like I think
feel like
I
it's
use...
impossible to like just make your own that works well. Like I feel
It's
like the
really
more I
hard.
mess with it, the less it's just I have to accept what Procreate has already and just
Yeah.
learn to use that.
Yeah, I think I've taken like 1 brush successfully for Photoshop to Procreate, and it was a really simple fuzzy brush. Like there was nothing special about it, and it is difficult.
Yeah. It's almost not even worth it. That's,
Yeah, I mean it just depends. Maybe don't be so anal about the end result.
Yeah.
Anal.
Cut that out.
Sorry, Mom, cut that out. Yeah, send me that brush though.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
know what I did with it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like we worked with
A
some
lot
really-
of talent.
so talented. It's weird though. Like everyone had different styles. I feel
Yeah.
like, which in itself became a nightmare to try to make us all.
That nightmare never stopped though.
No.
Even with the outsourcers.
Sure didn't.
Yeah. Like even within the same outsourced studio,
Yeah.
they'll have a variety.
I feel like that's why part of the reason that a lot of games just don't use 2D art anymore. It's just
Too hard to match style.
it's too hard. Yeah, like it
Mhm.
requires a lot, and people can't match their styles, and
I never considered that.
I don't know. It seemed
I
to be a big
neither.
problem with us when we worked at MC, where they were always like really, really concerned with it.
I guess.
When really it's gonna be this big.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah. That was a great visual aid to an audio podcast.
I'm holding my hands up in front of the
Yeah.
microphone. It's like the
It-
size of a postage stamp, right?
Smaller.
Smaller, yeah.
Way smaller, actually.
And then I remember they would we'd be so concerned with the detail, like how things were rendered.
Yeah.
And then it would be like the quality would be degraded when it
When the iPad,
The
especially.
iPad.
Because
I wanted
it
to-
would be like shrunk to work to
To a
look fine on a
phone,
phone, but
and
then the
then blown
iPad was
up.
like the same thing,
Oh,
but blown
right.
up. Like,
blown up from the
Mhm.
I wanted to bang my head against any sharp object.
Yeah, anytime
nearby.
we saw like one of those event banners or whatever that we
It made me
painted,
cry.
I know, it killed my soul.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah. What
Yeah.
are you gonna do? So I had a coworker came up to me. He's a dad, and he has, I think she's 16, a 16-year-old girl who wants to become a concept artist when she grows up. First of all, I'd love to be 16 again. Oh my god.
I actually wouldn't.
No.
No, 16 Josh.
Well,
sucks.
just wait until you're like my age, and you're
Okay.
looking down the barrel of 40, and
I'll
you
be-
might change your mind.
No, I'm looking down an actual barrel at that point.
No, no, Josh, no.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, he wanted to ask me if does she need to go to art school,
And
And-
you laughed
and I.
into the sky.
And the first thing I said was, well, is she any good? No, that's not. I
Yeah,
didn't say
but
that.
that's actually that question you have to ask.
I mean, man.
Wait,
and
why? Why do you say that?
because, well, I think because an art school will take anybody's money. Is that wrong?
No, it's so true.
Okay,
It's
I feel
absolutely
like
true.
I'm less jaded. I went to San Jose State, and I think it's a really good program. And it wasn't. I mean, it gets more and more expensive every year, but definitely not as expensive as like
Art
Academy
Center
of Art.
or something.
Academy of Art
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's where I went. I matriculated from.
It's a great word.
And I think
Yeah.
I think there's a follow up to the is the person any good? And I think it's because yeah, you could go to any school you want, but if you don't have the requisite skill, the industry is so competitive. It's going to be very, very difficult for someone to find a job that is steady enough to pay back all the loans that you would have to take out to go to any sort of college, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was like a really difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think it's a better idea to advise going to an art school that'll teach all those skills when they're not at a good level yet, or
No, I think I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
when is it more valuable to teach everybody, to teach somebody who needs it, like to catch up, or somebody who's already good to guarantee that they have that skill set? Because I think maybe when somebody's already has like a certain level of skill, it's like, why pay for all that like
Learning?
Yeah, why when they already have like enough groundwork that they can learn the rest on their own, like with
Yeah.
online stuff, online courses that are free or paid for, which are really way cheaper,
yeah,
or
Network.
workshops, or yeah,
networking.
Network and like group projects will give you a lot of experience.
yeah, I guess, but you don't need to go to school for that
You-
necessarily.
No, see, and I actually think that school is a
it
good
depends
place.
it depends on the individual too.
Yeah, it
because I feel
does.
like some people need that.
Some people
push.
need structure, and
Some
some
people-
people
yeah.
don't.
Exactly.
Some people can like have the work ethic that they can do what they need to without anybody telling them that they have to, and some people can't, and they have to go to school.
Mhm.
So and I think my answer to him was, I don't think in today's world that it is necessary for her to go to art school. But I kind of followed it up with like the caveat of school is a really, really good place to meet the people that are of like mind.
Yeah.
And you cannot create your best work in a vacuum. You just can't. And so, and also if she's not a structured person, like, because art is, you learn in the doing, right? There's
Mhm.
no reading a book that's going to teach you without doing whatever the lesson is. That is how you're going to learn. So if she's a very structured person and disciplined and can create her own curriculum and her own lesson plan or
Yeah.
whatever, that's one thing. But I told him, I think it's also really important that maybe, you know, she go to a class for drawing or painting where you're around like-minded people and you guys can push each other.
Mhm.
But I really don't think it's worth it to put anybody in debt for the rest of their life.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like you can get the same education or the same end results, if you will, without going to school as with, I guess.
Yeah.
That being said, school was really fun, and I had a lot of fun when I did it.
Also-
And in a middle ground,
Mhm.
you can go. You don't have to finish.
That's true. You can
Oh, yeah.
hand pick your classes.
Yeah.
Because today, I don't think that in
Who gives a shit
No,
if
who gives a
you
shit?
have that piece of paper?
yeah,
Also, nobody cares about your grades.
that's true.
Nobody's ever asked any of us about our grades, I can
No.
probably guarantee.
Dude, and I had great grades in college, and
Mhm.
I did not know how to get a job to save my life.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
what do you make of that?
Yeah. Grades don't matter.
Yeah, grades don't...
Sorry, teachers. We don't give a fuck.
Sorry, counselor.
Yeah. But as an example,
advisor.
looking back to a couple episodes ago, Katie Fortune never finished. She just got a
Exactly.
job.
Mhm.
So if you get a job, fuck finishing. this
Yeah,
school.
it doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
end
You'll
result
have
is
less debt.
get a job and do what you love doing.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
who cares how you get there? They're not going to ask you in an interview, you didn't finish school?
Mm-hmm.
Or where did you
Why?
didn't go to art
Yeah,
school? Like
yeah.
no one's going to ask that.
But I
I
did
think.
want to say, like, instead of asking, like, how good are they, isn't it more of, like, how serious are they?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a totally kind of bitchy thing for me to say.
Oh.
No, but you're right, because there are many people that start out not the best
Mhm.
and just rocket past people like they'll I'm constantly impressed by people and they just
Who
keep
just, like-
going and keep practicing and keep doing
Yeah.
and just get so much better,
They
like
put the
exponentially
legwork
better.
in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you could totally be an artist even if you don't have a tremendous amount of natural talent.
Yeah.
Like it's
Mhm.
completely possible.
It's definitely like there's very little such thing as talent. Like it's a skill.
Yeah.
You just have to work at.
Yeah. And
think-
you will lose it if you don't use it.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Hey.
Yeah, I think Dylan like had an example from like his days in the forums or whatever. I can't remember the example he gave. Like somebody who they had a sketchbook that showed their progression to being like
yeah.
kind of like to being amazing.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but I think that's not uncommon.
Yeah,
a lot
for
of
sure.
people.
I feel like that's maybe like pretty common actually. It's just maybe not fully illustrated in that way for many people of just like, hey, you can watch my entire like growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I look at stuff that I did in college that I was really proud of at the time, and now it's just like, wow, how can I light that on fire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
It's everyone grows constantly. Like, yeah.
That's why nobody here will see my deviant art.
Oh, DeviantArt. Talk about things that need to be set on fire.
The entire website
I
needs to be
can't
set on fire.
stand
I'm kidding.
DeviantArt.
Not really.
Not really. Kidding. No, serious.
Yeah. Have you gone back there recently just to see the front page?
I think never to
Ooh.
see. I've never typed in www.deviantart.com. I have inadvertently like clicked things that take me there,
Yeah.
and then I can't navigate anything because it's awful.
You're
So
just talking
horrible.
about the site and on its own.
Yes.
I'm talking about the content.
Okay, well,
the
the content. I always. It sounds so bitchy, but I always called it like it's like the yard sale of art. Like there's no.
It might be bitchy, but it's true.
It's just. Ugh, can't say. That's so snobbish.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, we've earned the right to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's. It's good for like.
Maybe kids.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was gonna. That's what I wanted to say.
I mean, where else are you gonna post your Sonic OCs?
Yeah, because that was like the last thing we looked at on
Yeah.
DeviantArt recently.
Yeah. Where else are you gonna
Oh,
post
man.
your furry art commissions?
That's the only thing I think of now is furries.
Yeah, well,
Furry
go to the
art.
front page.
No.
It's 70% of it.
I don't
Do
want
you guys
to.
ever like think about how much money you could make if you decided to like get into
Yes.
To buckle down
To
and
buckle down
the
and just
furry art game?
or just like any porn.
Oh man.
Oh, I know, like
Like just do every kink.
my brother.
Take the money.
My brother is also like an artist, and he's just an amazing generalist. Like he does 3D and stuff too, and he can animate.
Oh, good for him.
He can do everything. I know. But then, like, he was like,
Oh, what venom.
when he was looking for work, I was like, you should make like really good like 3D furry like porn.
Oh man.
You can make so much money.
I mean, but how? How do you? What
do
is
you
the
monetize
equation?
it?
It's like art plus what equals so much money. Like, yeah. How do
Yeah.
you find the connection? Like, I just don't know.
I can find that connection.
Do you just go
It's
straight to
porn.
You just go to
Pornhub and
porn.
you just upload it, or I feel this?
Oh, you mean like how to
Oh,
monetize it?
yeah.
Yeah. How do you?
That's a good question. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like a lot of that stuff is.
I
like-
mean, it always seems like porn is free. So I don't know.
yeah.
He could like.
Also, I'm really sorry, Josh's parents.
Oh.
It's Mimi's fault. She did.
Sorry.
She did bring it up.
That's where the money is.
No, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Well,
It does
I feel
drive
like,
industry.
I
Doesn't
feel
it?
like the
Yeah.
commissions for that kind of stuff pay the most out of any. If you're
Yeah.
if you're looking
So
at commissions for
Yeah.
a living,
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your Mimi? Is that your end
My
game?
fallback. It's
Yeah.
my fallback.
No, that's your end game, right? Like you want to work your whole life to get to a point where you can just Sakimi-chan the hell out of some furry art.
That would. I mean.
Maybe.
We all wish we could be Sakimi-chan.
Yeah, that figured it out.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
am
god.
so jealous of the artists who have figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh, what is your end game?
Where
Where do you see yourself? Like, please do not say dead.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I've asked him this before,
Yeah, and I'm
and
sure
he
he's been dead, right?
Yes.
But like
Yeah,
in your
that's my
ideal
go-to.
art world, like what is your end game? What's your Shangri-La?
My Shangri-La. I just want to be one of those like concept artists who can just get a job anywhere they want, like any project they want.
See, mine is so different.
Mm.
My end game is to not be a concept artist. Like, I just want to sit, like, I want to live in a little house by the sea and paint whatever the fuck I want to paint all day long.
Oh no, I want to be in charge of like what the project is.
Well, sure,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
you're the most successful.
Yeah, I want to like. Have you seen the trailer for that game Towers? There's like a
Yes.
prototype they made.
Yeah,
I want to do stuff like that.
yeah.
Where like I get together with a couple friends.
Looks amazing,
and,
by the way.
like, where we just have like a cool idea and we just do it.
Yeah.
Because we got that big dick energy.
Welcome to concept art video game industry bro culture.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, anybody can have big dick energy.
That's
it's not
true.
exclusive to men.
Or big ovary. It's fine.
Yeah, sure.
I like to say ovary up, give birth to some shit.
Yeah.
Come on,
Oh,
do it.
That's way better than what I said.
It is. You should start
I
saying that.
birthed it from my mind vagina.
From my loins. My mind vagina.
That's not. I stole that from something else.
Don't take that out. Mimi, how about you?
I kind of want to like I feel like this podcast was kind of a glimpse into maybe like what I want to do. Like I just want to do cool stuff with friends. Like I want to be able to do that. Like, hey, do you want to like make a zine with me? Do you want to like make a book with me or
Yeah.
something? I want to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember we were at MZ and I said it's one of those times we were talking to each other and we weren't supposed to.
When we were like not
forbidden conversation.
Our face glued to our screen.
Yeah, forbidden conversation.
Yeah.
But I was saying how cool it would be if like Alan and Andre started a studio and you show up around lunch and
as they did.
As they do, right. And you make whatever you want that day. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want. That's what you make. And it's going to sell because you're amazing, right?
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, we play Street Fighter. And then you decide, once a year, there's a Street Fighter tournament where we decide who will be CEO for the next year.
That sounds amazing.
And this is like a dream. This would be a dream
That's
company.
Mimi's dream, too.
I mean, I'm not very good at Street Fighter, but I would practice.
It's like the
Would you
furry
prefer Smash Bros.
situation.
instead?
I prefer if it were Smash Brothers.
Anything.
Yeah.
But we just need to figure out how to make money doing this.
Oh.
It's like
That's the
this
key,
idea, some mysterious element.
I already
Question mark,
told you.
question mark, question mark,
I told you,
profit.
it's porn.
Profit.
Yeah.
It's porn.
Yeah. So we just draw
make
porn all day?
Okay. Well,
Wait, maybe that's what they do.
yeah.
Maybe
all
that's
right.
how this works.
Chief financial officer right there.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, I think, would be an even better than
I
Street
prefer
Fighter.
it.
You prefer Street Fighter? Or
No, Smash Brothers.
Smash
Okay.
Brothers.
But if we have Andre and Alan, then we'll have to like play a third game to figure out which of the other two games we'll actually play.
God. Oh, I think it'd be so fun.
Yeah, and so
Hey,
it's
Bobby.
like, and so I do think about that, and I think about that goal, and it's like, well, how do I achieve it? And I feel like I do need to I need like more art cred, I guess, and so like that's the only way people will like. Be
And that's why we
interested,
have
you know?
this podcast.
Yeah. Hi.
Our goal for art cred.
Art cred.
Or quest for art cred.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys... Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, well, just like, so people will like follow you if you make a Kickstarter, they'll support you and they like trust you. And I was like, I guess you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah, and I think you have to you can't quit.
Mm-hmm. Can't quit.
This is your path now. You have to walk it forever. It's very fun though.
Yeah.
I feel like there's such a mentality in the art world where it's like people are in love with themselves
Yeah.
and they are too fucking cool for you. Not
Yeah.
too cool for you. Nah.
And I feel like it's the minority. There's not many. It's not like the majority of people are like that.
Yeah, it's certainly not the people you work with every day.
Yeah.
There are people that are so successful they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. And they're the ones with the huge heads.
Yeah. I also think there's like a difference between people that work consistently in art and then people that have a huge online presence and that's how they make their income or whatever.
Mm.
I don't know.
I just feel like such like an art baby because like I haven't had many art jobs and so like I'm very
Neither have I.
sheltered
Neither
from
have I.
this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe because I'm a little bit older and I have just seen it grow more and I've talked to some of these people and yes, they're just people. They're not gods, but I think that there's part of them that would like you to treat them like they're a god.
Mm.
So there's definitely a culture out there. I don't think it's as bad anymore. Then there's people like Carla Ortiz
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
who are incredible and like just as cool as you'd hope they would be. But these people are just people and they're working and they're
We're all people.
We're all people. So the adoration probably should stop a little bit, I think.
The problem is when you follow them
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah. You fall in love with their artwork and you aspire to be them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you create a whole persona in your head of what they must be like. And since they're just people, they inevitably let you down. It's true.
No, I know what you
people
mean.
have bad days or they're not there for
Yeah.
you. They don't exist for you.
And that happens
Yeah.
with not just artists. Anybody
Everybody.
with celebrity. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Ugh.
Yeah.
I met Sharon Stone once, and she was a bitch.
Really? I'm so interested.
get called out,
I'm so
Sharon Stone.
intrigued.
She was just not there for. I don't know. I
Probably had a bad day.
was at art school.
Ah.
I was at art. It was at the academy, and I had done a piece of art for some angel show, and she had. I feel like she had written a book or something. I don't know. And she was going to be there, and it was a party, and I was getting off the elevator, and she was getting on the elevator, and she just was just could not make eye contact. Could not, whatever. It's not like I'm a big fan of hers, but that says more about me than it does about Sharon Stone. Let's move on. Loved you in Casino.
Yeah.
We could talk about the good shit that happened in
Let's
MC.
talk about the good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Because
never
there was
happens.
good shit.
Yeah.
There's plenty of it, actually, to be honest.
Save it for the cast.
We're recording.
Oh, we are. Excellent. I didn't even know you started. Yeah, it's funny because MZ, like when people ask me to describe working there, because it's so infamous, you have no
Yeah.
It's
idea.
infamous,
It's
yes.
infamous.
Mhm.
And I tell people it's like, it's very weird because it was simultaneously the worst place and the best place. And
Right? It's like a fucking world of contradictions there.
yeah, it's like, it's the worst place to be an artist, I feel. But some of the best things ever happened to me there.
Yeah.
One of them being Japan,
Yeah.
which
So
is incredible.
we're gonna talk about when we started working on the Final Fantasy mobile game, or rather, when it became Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
We had to shift gears. There was a lot of stuff to change,
Which also was very cool.
which was very cool. And then we were running into that problem of like matching the style. And
This
let's
seems
not
to be coming up a lot.
let's not talk too much about why that was a problem.
I don't even know why it was I don't even know.
Oh, I don't know.
Ah.
But anyways, it just spawned a whole discussion about like why don't we just send the artists to Japan?
I think it was a more like in my head it goes a little bit more like this, where it's like, oh, they're not happy. All right, well, how do we make them happy?
That's probably
Will that make them happy if we send these artists over and they talk to your guys? All right, we'll just do that.
Probably more realistic about what actually happened.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it wasn't really to
teach
help us, or teach us or help us get better.
Yeah,
It was just to placate Square. I think
Yeah.
see.
I'm not complaining about
Yeah,
that.
and it
I'm okay with it.
placated me as well because
I
I got to go to
know.
Japan.
I
This is
couldn't
the first
believe
time
it.
I went.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I had never been there either, so
So yeah, they sent 4 of us, right?
Yeah.
And a fully paid trip to Japan. Can't complain.
no.
And we got to
Wow.
work at Square Enix's
Yeah.
studio in Tokyo.
Which is that building is gorgeous, by the
Great
way.
building, and we got to work directly with Hanjo-san,
Hanjo-san.
the art director of Final Fantasy 15.
So
and
cool.
That's
15
really
through like
cool.
when did he start? 13? Did he start at 13 or 12? Or
I don't
something?
know. I thought it was 12.
I think it was 12. I think it was 12. And yeah, that was cool because he was a really cool guy, super energetic, wanting to help as much as he could. We would like say
For not knowing a word of English.
yeah, I mean we had some great interpreters to help out.
Yeah.
But we would be like saying something about like, oh, we're trying to get like our like magic effects to match the game magic effects, and he'd just be like run off and come back with the effects guy.
Oh my God,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
It was
so sweet.
like having all the resources, and it
Yeah.
was so cool.
It was actually like I don't know, like your theory about placating people might be true, but
oh, I don't care.
as far
That's
as like
fine.
the purpose of like learning,
Yeah.
we did learn a lot.
Learned so much, like their thought process of how they approach a character.
Yeah.
Everything is about story,
Everybody-
right? And
which
for-
is funny because our game had no,
No story.
story.
We had to, because he would look at some of our characters or the artwork, and he wanted to know what is the story behind this character, like
Mhm.
what's happening here, and we'd have to try to explain to him there is no story.
Yeah,
it's
like
just
that they're not like individual characters, but just like
they fulfill a function in the
yeah,
game.
this, this is just a kind of troupe that you will create hundreds of or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were just like, how do you not have a game without a story?
Yeah.
And there was a really good line. There was a really good line that Andre said, like after they said that to us, and then they left or out of earshot or whatever.
Yeah.
And Andre's just like, Tetris doesn't have a story.
Wait, wasn't it also like Checkers doesn't have a story?
Oh no, yeah, it was Checkers. It wasn't
was
Tetris.
Checkers?
It was Checkers.
It's pretty
I
true.
got the quote wrong.
Yeah, no,
It's
but
okay. He doesn't listen to this.
well, I mean, it's the same. I mean, Tetris doesn't have a story.
Yeah.
Checkers doesn't have a story. But yeah, it was really, really cool to learn from that guy. I
Yeah.
mean, because he would
He was
help
so
us like
nice.
put together these characters, like, and give them from every. It's not just looks, but like how are they standing?
their
What
attitude.
are they? Attitude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so big on attitude, which is so cool because all the characters just stand around looking really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is totally opposite of what we were doing. We were like, how can we ratchet the shit up to 11?
Yeah, because we were
Every
we were
image.
coming off that like Game of War
Yeah.
life of just like everyone's like yelling and
Yeah,
like,
screaming right into
And
the
they're
player.
like, no, less crazy emotion, more just looking cool.
Yeah, look cool.
Just make it look like Andre does.
Yeah. Oh my God, Andre is a living, walking anime character. That collar
Honestly,
popped.
Yeah. One day.
He's a
we'll have
JoJo
one.
character, right?
Yeah.
He's a Joestar.
Oh man, when I started talking about JoJo during that
Oh,
dinner
that's
with
right.
Hanjo, Hanjo-san, and he's just like, "Oh, JoJo, yeah." And between the interpreter, it was like, who's your favorite JoJo? Who's your favorite character? And then we just started doing poses. And at that point, like, the interpreters couldn't even, like, didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
We were just posing together.
We should include some of these photos. Like, I don't know if there's a way to show photos of that.
We can,
because
Post
I
it
know,
on Instagram.
I
Post
know
on
I
Instagram?
have
Oh.
photos of the two of you doing whatever it was you were doing.
I would love to see that.
So-
Please send me those
Yeah,
photos. 'Cause
I
I
can-
only have a couple that I took when we
Okay.
were all taking pictures of each other at
That
the
was
same
really
time.
cute. It
Yeah.
just these people were so cool and so welcoming. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So the idea that they would open their studio to us and then spend the majority for the art director to spend the majority of his time.
It was to
with
the point
us.
where, what was the project manager's name? Emily?
Yeah.
She was just like barging in being like, you've been here
Oh,
too long.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she would try to take him
Yeah.
away. And he
Yeah.
wanted us to stay longer. Didn't he want us to stay like a month
yeah.
or so?
And she
my
shot that
God.
down.
Yeah, and she's like, no, they
No.
can't.
No, they can't.
That would have been
Well,
so
she'll- okay,
amazing.
well,
Oh, that would have been
I-
incredible. Yeah, like every day when we would walk in, we would try to kind of like
We forced our
casually
friendship. Yeah.
glance at people's monitors and see what they were working on.
Yeah.
Because they kept us like in a room.
Yeah.
You couldn't work with the rest of the team, and that makes sense. But
Yeah. Whatever.
yeah, whatever. I don't care.
We got to hang out with
Like I said, I don't care about any of the negative aspects
Yeah.
of what led to us being in
them. It
Japan.
was just a great week.
Yeah, it was an incredible week.
I went to Gojira Bar.
That's right. You had an adventure.
Yeah, me and Andre had a bizarre adventure of our own.
Yeah. I think my favorite night was the night that you convinced us all to walk from Square back to the hotel. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's cold. I'm lazy. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But that was the best night because we literally just like walked through back alleys. We went to that giant shopping center or whatever.
Yeah.
We went shopping and then we went to the yakitori alleys. And
That was that same night.
Oh, it was so good. It was so fun.
That
Yeah.
sounds so
Like we
fun.
crammed as much experience
Yeah,
into that week as we could.
Shinjuku's like an awesome part of the
It
Tokyo.
is.
Like I could spend a whole week just in Shinjuku
Yeah, it was great.
before like exploring even the rest of Tokyo.
And then going to Akihabara the last day was like,
If only we had gone there. During
Ah.
I mean, I got to go back.
we
later
should have
that
called
year,
in
but-
sick at work that day because everything closes so early there. But,
Yeah.
oh man, it was fun. I almost had to leave my hairdryer behind in Japan because I bought so much stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't smash it all into the suitcase.
And no, Fortune's back, but
Oh, I
she
know.
was just there, and I was getting major FOMO looking at her Instagram stories and stuff like that. And now I have another friend who's in Japan right now, and I'm like, why is everybody in Japan right now and I'm not?
You know, I have a friend who just got back a couple days ago, and she was there for. I guess the cherry blossoms are happening like
right
this week,
now.
like right
Yeah,
now.
that's why everyone was there.
Yeah,
Mm.
but they started, I think, even last week a little bit. So
Yeah.
it was just gorgeous. But yeah, that was incredible. Learning from those people at Square it was like a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
It
feel
really
like,
was.
I feel like I held
We were
on to
very-
a lot of it.
Very lucky. It was
Very
it was-
lucky.
we-
Very
we
lucky. People don't get to work at Square. You don't get to just
No,
go
it's
and
not
work
something
with the
that
art
happens.
director. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
So I'll always cherish that nugget that
Yeah.
I got out of NZ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was one of the most incredible things that's ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
For sure, hands down.
Got some shade thrown at us from
Oh,
some
yeah.
of the other people
Like I said,
that didn't get to go.
I don't care
Yeah.
about the negative stuff.
What are these some
Wait.
people who were doing bad at their
Yes,
job?
that's
What
my
are the-
favorite.
yeah.
That's my favorite. Well, God, they're rewarding those guys for sucking at their jobs.
Oh.
Sure, I don't care.
Yeah, say
I'm in
whatever you
Japan.
want. We got
Sour
to go.
grapes.
Yeah.
Maybe if you suck at your job, they'll try to fix you too. I don't know. But it was so fun. Like the sushi at the first day, like we hopped off the plane and then just started wandering around.
Andre ate whale.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'd start to I would start to pick up plates off the thing and go,
There was the one that just
Andre,
was
eat
not
this. Eat
like
this.
labeled in English.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was.
And it just turned out to be
Whale.
Linda was like pointing her phone at the translate thing. Like every time I hit translate, it says whale.
Also,
And he's
Thank
like, I love whale.
my
I
God.
love whales.
I love it now. Thank God for Linda. Linda made that trip like
That's true. She
so
was
much
the
easier.
organizational like
She was our Jira.
powerhouse. Yeah.
Right. She
We would have. Could you imagine going
Nope.
without her?
We wouldn't have shown up at work, that's for sure. Are you kidding? I never would have saw Andre again. He would have been gone.
He would have just gone. Yeah, that's right. He would have just left.
He would have left. You and I probably would have stuck together, but you would have left me in the dust because I would feel some obligation to actually go to work.
Mm.
You probably would have gotten distracted and been like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I see things
Akihabara
happening.
calls.
Yeah, Akihabara is calling me. I can't just take notes for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, super fun. Oh, so cool.
Mhm.
I want to go back one day.
But not for machine gun.
No. I want to go back and not have to work during the day.
Yeah, when I went back, there was a part of me that was like, could I hit up Hanjo-san?
I mean, if you spoke Japanese, I feel like you could have.
Yeah, I would have been able to pull it off, but definitely not without my interpreter.
Yeah.
Shout out to Moe.
Oh God, Moe, that's right. She was fun.
Yeah. Well, she treated us when we went back to that place where I had raw chicken.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That place was awesome.
Yeah, we ate some good stuff.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm glad I never had to try the raw chicken.
Yeah, we were fine.
Yeah. On the other side of it, we lived. It's fine.
JJ got sick, but
Oh.
he got sick because he ate something else. Not the chicken. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the Japan trip when we went with courtesy of MZ, do you think?
I mean, there was so much good. I mean,
Can you give like a top 5?
Yeah.
I'll start. Do you want me to start top 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think number 5 is the bathrooms, because bathrooms in Japan are incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
they're
incredible.
so ahead of us on
So-
toilet technology.
It's a wonderful experience. It's an experience. I think number 4 was probably that first night where we went and got sushi.
Sushi was amazing.
It was not only was it incredibly delicious, but we went
we
at
got
an
to
off
eat as much
as we want. Yeah, and we went at an off time. Like for us, because of jet lag, I think it felt like it was like 6 or 7 at night for me, but it was like 4 in the afternoon. So when we got there, we were the only people there. We got all the sushi to ourselves. It was incredible. And I remember that our per diem was like $100 per person per day.
Which we never managed to
We
max
never
out.
managed to, right. And so we were all concerned, being from California, we can't eat too much. We don't know how much money we're spending. We only have $400. I think we spent $100 US total.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Eating as much as we could.
As much as we could possibly
That sounds like a
eat.
dream.
There
Yeah.
was such a pile of plates in front of Andre.
So good. Number 3 would be working at Square and getting to go there every day.
Agreed.
I loved that. I felt so cool. We wanted to keep the lanyards, remember?
Yeah.
And Emily wouldn't let us
They
keep them.
wouldn't let us. They
They
gave
had,
us
like-
other lanyards.
Yeah,
though.
which were kind of
Whatever,
lesser
yeah.
lanyards, but yeah, they were like bright pink and they had Square on them, and it was so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, they said no.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 2.
What building is that? It's a building.
It's a build. Oh yeah, goodness, she was a charmer. I liked her more than you guys did.
I know. You and Linda loved her.
Yeah.
Linda wanted to be her when she grew up.
This is a woman who looks like, I felt like she was in her late 20s or something. And she was running like 11 projects at Square.
Yeah.
Internationally. I was very impressed by
She
her.
has big ovaries.
Yeah.
Yes, and she gives birth a lot. Like,
Yeah.
It was impressive. So I think number 2, I think for me would be that night that we walked from
And
the
had-
office to
and had the yakitori.
The yakitori was incredible. Like, that was the one time my jacket actually smelled good. Just like smoke and everything.
Was it just cool, like taking in the city?
Yes.
Mm.
Because everything in Japan, as opposed to here, is so vertical. So you're looking up, and there's just all these incredible buildings, and they're all designed differently. And, like, the Japanese, their attention to design is incredible with everything.
And some, not everything, but, like, some of it follows that thing that Fortune said in her episode, where that rule of, if it can be cute, why shouldn't it be?
Yeah, why not?
We saw, like, street... traffic cone things, or not, they're not traffic cones, but they're the things you put up to, like,
Hey,
block
don't
an
fall
area
in
off.
this manhole cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
like
And they were cute.
Bear
They just
Hello
they
Kitty.
had like Hello Kitty on it. Yeah.
It was just something you would never ever see
Yeah.
here. But it was very cool. Like, I just remembered the buildings were just incredible. Like, and we went to the yakitori,
Mhm.
everything felt super old world. And then you would look up and see these metropolitan buildings and billboards, and so it was like very old world meets like new world. It's very
And
cool.
what we hadn't done that we did on our for fun trip later was go to Golden Guy, because we actually walked by it during our trip. That
Is
day
that like
that
a famous place?
it's like a famous like couple. It's like a street block of just like bunched together bars. It's like 200 bars within like
Wow,
this
nice.
one section, and they're all tiny.
Yeah.
Can fit like 5 people in each.
Yeah.
Great place. And we and like learning about where it was, I was like, I remembered walking right by the entrance, because I'm like, I know this, I know where we were, I know we passed it, and we didn't know that this famous spot
Man.
had been like right within our reach.
There's so much packed into little spaces.
Yeah.
You go into a building and there'd be like 8 floors, and each one of them would be something different.
Mhm.
And then my number 1, I think, is the last dinner with Hanjo-san and Emily and all of us.
Yeah.
And that, where he didn't have to teach us anything, and we were just
We just
hanging
palled
out,
around.
just
It was-
hanging
yeah.
out. You guys talking about, JoJo's
JoJo.
Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah.
It was so charming. It was so cool and
That was a good time.
super fun. And yeah, it's a building.
It's a building.
What is that building, Emily? It's a building.
There was some other great lines she had. What the fuck else did she say?
Shoot.
That was the one that stood out.
Yeah. Okay, do you have a top 5 now? Can you? Or
I mean,
just
my
your
top
favorite
5
stuff?
like overlaps with yours a
Yeah.
lot. It might be a bit
It's 'cause I'm
reordered.
smart and awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not go
Bathrooms
too
are
far.
number 1? Okay.
No, I mean the bathrooms are great. I don't know if it gets to the top 5
I've never experienced anything like that.
What was so great about them?
because they have like bidets.
Mhm.
It might be
and
different
the
for
seat
women
warmer.
too in that so the door first of all closed from the floor to the ceiling
Okay.
and there's no
That's
seam
already
or no
that's
gap.
already
right?
like makes it.
When I talk
amazing.
to women, they're like, "Oh my god, what is that like?" It's incredible. Like it's fantastic. And so you feel like you're in your own little room and the seat is heated and the toilet lights up. No, it doesn't light up, but it makes music and noise. It just
Yeah, there's a button to have it play sound
Yeah, it
to
was
cover
like-
stuff up.
That's
these
so
are
nice.
these are public restrooms,
That's
right?
So nice.
Yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of what you said. It was just like the food.
Oh, the
I think the
food.
food, like, I guess specifically that day with the sushi was probably the best.
Yeah,
Um,
except for the cockroach. At
well,
the
I'm
one place.
not talking about that place. I'm talking about the first sushi
Yeah, yeah,
place
yeah.
we went to, not the one that Yelp said was good. It turns out Yelp is also a terrible idea to use
Don't go to
internationally.
Yelp.
Yeah, you should have been
Okay.
using TripAdvisor.
All right.
Yeah,
Now
or
you
just go where people were.
Well, I think we wanted to go get ramen, but the wait was like an hour.
Yeah, it
and
was like something that.
and I
somebody
had my
recommended
inadequate
to me.
jacket, so I had to wait outside for an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, it was that. It was just working at Square. It was that last dinner. This is no particular order. That night that we walked around, got yakitori, and for me and Andre, it was a bit different because we kept going after you and
Yeah.
Linda gave to call that a night and went on an adventure with our new local friends where we went to Gojira Bar and Jazz Bar and just suffered for it the next day, but it was totally worth it. And
Japanese breakfast. I'd forgotten about Japanese breakfast. I'd never had that
we
before.
were put up in a really nice hotel where we had vouchers for breakfast every morning, and you could have the European breakfast or the Japanese breakfast. We had the European breakfast, or I had the European breakfast once, and I was like, "This is bullshit."
No, it was still very good.
It was still good, but the Japanese breakfast was so fucking good.
So good.
It was just
You have to tell them what's in a
Yeah,
Japanese
what-
breakfast.
what is it comprised of?
it comes in sort of like a bento box, sort of format, kind of. There's a different name for it, but the main courses was some sort of fish, grilled, it could be salmon or some sort of white fish or whatever, and rice porridge. What else?
There was some fermented vegetables, I think.
That's right. There were some fermented vegetables.
Sardines.
Just little servings of
A poached
deliciousness.
egg.
A poached egg.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some miso soup.
Yeah. And that banana milk.
Banana milk.
You loved that
What?
banana
That
milk.
stuff was so
That
good.
sounds so good.
It was.
Did
it
I
was-
take a picture of that?
I did.
breakfast?
I could send you that picture that if you don't have
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
yeah, it was
I just
all
want to
these-
remember everything that was in it.
in
I
I-
could have eaten that. I could eat that
I could
every
eat that
day
every
of my
day.
life.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's just unhealthy.
Yes,
And-
and salad. They had salad too. They eat salad
I
for
just
breakfast.
felt so healthy there. I
Yeah,
felt like the
good
food
start.
was just all around. I got back, and I felt like my body immediately rebelled against eating food in America again. Because it just I went from feeling good to my body was like, what are you doing? And it just had a bad time.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff even in the continental breakfast that you wouldn't find here, like salads, cheese,
I'm looking up pictures right
bread
now. so-
casserole, stuff like that.
Oh,
It was
cool.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Japanese breakfast.
Here's the
though.
Japanese breakfast.
Wow.
So it's just a little grilled
The
fish.
banana milk.
The
That's the
banana
banana
It
milk.
looks so good.
It
Rice
was
porridge is in
incredible.
there.
It was really delicious.
A bit of sashimi, I think that was, right? Yep, some
Yeah,
sashimi. It's I think a little seaweed thing, a little bit of a different kind of fish.
And then you take your little bowl
Yeah.
of rice
Oh my-
and you add all
yeah,
the bits
there's the
and
egg.
the egg, and then you mix it together, and it was
It was
just
just all so good.
really
And
delicious.
it was just so good. And rice, and just, dude. I'm watering. My mouth is watering.
Yeah, I wonder if any place around here will do that. We could probably just make it yourself.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, okay, so here in San Mateo, there's a ton of Japanese restaurants, so you can get probably something a close approximation to, but it's not going to be quite the same.
No.
Go to Izakaya Mai, has a pretty big selection of stuff. You just have to put up with a really slow service, but otherwise, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's Josh's restaurant corner. I guess.
Come to San Mateo for
Come to
all
San
your
Mateo for all your
eating
Japanese food needs. Seriously, there's a lot of Japanese food here.
There is.
I have no complaints, as you can probably
Oh,
tell.
and the milk tea. How you could just go and get gallons of milk tea
Oh yeah,
or
you
bottles
really like
of
that
milk
too.
tea.
Yeah.
I just like, we don't have anything like that here either. It's like a really special thing if you go and get milk tea or boba tea or whatever, but we would just go to the market
Yeah.
and get like a giant container of milk tea. It's really... And the mochi. Yeah, the food we could go on and on.
No, honestly, and I think we have.
This is an art podcast,
Yeah,
right?
so-
Are we talking about art?
These are
Hey.
the things that inspire you.
That's true, and it was a good week to be artists.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah, this is just, it all comes together to make us happy and make good art.
Cut all that out.
Wait, we didn't do karaoke when we were on
In
our
Japan?
Japan trip.
Wow.
Seems like
I
a
can-
travesty.
Yeah.
That's where all the good
That's
American
where all-
songs are.
Right?
Yeah, you go karaoke here, and there's nothing but like Korean
and Chinese songs.
Japan.
Yeah.
If we go to Japan, that's where all the good
Yeah.
American songs are.
Oh, good to know.
The more you know.
Anyway. Sorry, I started playing with the crinkly thing again. So, I think that brings us to the end.
What have we learned today, children?
We've learned, let's review what we've learned. Japan's cool. Do art, don't give up on it. School, maybe, probably not. If you want.
If you want.
I still endorse San Jose State. I had a great time.
I don't endorse Santa Cruz because I actually met Santa Cruz students. They were coming by
Oh,
glue
right.
at the end of GDC, and like we had like a whole thing where we talked about glue and blah blah blah, and then like sort of answered questions at the end of like anything you guys want to know about this and that. And I talked to the people who were like part of the art department or like into the art scene there. And I was just like, does it still suck because of this and this and this? And they're like, oh my god, yeah, it does suck because of that. I'm like, here's what you got to do. And then I gave them like the scoop of like how to like fill all the gaps that Santa Cruz does not fill.
Well,
So
just
I-
real quick,
I
like,
felt like
what
I
is it?
did
Is
a-
it like online resources?
Online resources. I gave them names of who to look up or where to start at least. Gave them advice of just like, listen, your teachers aren't going to push you to do these things, so you guys have to like form your own social network of fellow students who push each other to do this and that and to get better because like the teachers won't do it for you, and here's where to find resources and here's who to ask for more resources and stuff like that. I tried to do a bit of good in the world for once in my goddamn life.
Try to teach the children.
Yeah, those chillin'. Anyway.
I do endorse school as long as you have parents who can pay cash for it.
Yeah, if you have rich parents, be an artist.
Sure. Go for it.
You need to be serious about it.
Oh yeah,
And
you
you
only
need to
get
be
what you
smart
put in.
about it. Yeah.
You only get out what you put into it.
Mhm.
It's sort of like a good way to put it.
Don't treat it like an English major.
Oh!
I'm just
Thank you for listening to
kidding.
Cadmium Dread. Please submit all complaints if you're an English major to Kelly at our email, cadmiumdread@gmail.com. Also, any other comments or questions you have. See,
Cut all that out.
no, that all stays in because that was the best fucking, like,
Outro
transition
you've ever done.
into talking about our email, like,
Yes.
as possible.
Oh, can I say thank you so much for having me on your
Oh,
podcast?
yeah, and thank you for
course.
being
You guys
on
are
it.
Yes,
great.
thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
listening to me not talk about art and actually other things.
Yeah,
So,
but I think we filled our quota. We have a very
Mhm.
small quota for actually talking about art on this podcast, I feel like.
excellent.
We filled
Yeah.
it, and then we filled the rest of the time up with whatever the fuck.
It's important.
Yeah, it's important. It's how you actually get to know us.
Me time.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, wasn't that what they call it? Where it's like you take time for you, not work.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure. Why not?
Sorry. Words. I don't know.
Please rate
Yes.
us or leave a review
Mm-hmm.
on like iTunes and stuff because it helps out.
It does.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Follow our Instagram.
Search Cadmium Dread on Facebook and Instagram.
And just have a wonderful day.
Yeah. We've never said that before.
That's because we've never wanted them to have a wonderful day
well,
until
today. We do.
Listen,
Kelly.
don't have too much fun.
Yeah.
Stay a little bit sour. It's good for you.
I was just about to say, Kelly is like a ray of sunshine. She
No.
put me in a
No.
good mood.
Ah, then it worked.
Kelly's more like that storm cloud that shows up that sometimes you get to see some sunshine through.
Yeah, look, you can't have a rainbow without a little rain.
Ooh!
Ooh!
What a good
Episode
title for the
title.
episode.
Trademark.
TM.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Cadmium Dread out.
Yeah.
We
Say
don't
bye.
have a good outro.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Say,
Bye.
say bye to Bowie.
Oh, bye, Bowie.
Say bye to Bowie, everyone.
Bye,
Bowie, say bye. He doesn't give a fuck. Oh, he got up?